Welcome back to our kitchen and my special guest, Rhonda Matthews from Clemson University, and tasty meals for the family, okay?
Yeah, absolutely, and today is definitely a tasty one. Kid-friendly, family-friendly, and makes use of lots of vegetables. So if you've got a picky eater, this may be a great way to sneak a few of those vegetables in them that they just refuse to eat, because we ground up lots of healthy vegetables in our food processor, put it in our crock pot, got everything together, a couple of pounds of meat and a handful of spices in there, and we've turned it into a homemade slow cooker sloppy joe. So we know exactly what's in this. Wowzers, look at all that niceness coming out of there. So, and you can see our vegetables cooked down. I mean,
good.
It looks just like sloppy joe mix that you would make, you know, in 5 minutes, and not necessarily know everything that's in it, but you know everything and exactly whose hand touched this. So, which is you and me. So in this case, we've got plenty here to serve a family of 4, and then freeze.
Carrot, zucchini, squash.
That's right. Bell
pepper, onion.
Tomato. Lots of good nutrition in here. This is the yummiest vitamin pill you're going to take this month. Okay. So let's go ahead and start working with this. We've got just a little brioche bun right here, pretty on the inside, and we're gonna fill him up with some goodness and start assembling the meal that we'll have ready at the end of the show. Yummy. That looks pretty good. So there's meat, grain, and vegetable all together. Okay. So we'll let that sit right there. Yeah, that's perfect. That one's still hot. Perfect. And so I'm gonna, there we go. I'm gonna sit this behind us so that we can work just a little bit easier. And we're going to make a nice little side dish to go with this. So we're going to use some sweet potatoes. I've washed these very, very well. We're going to trim our ends away, and we're going to cut them into planks. There we go.
I tell you, when Rhonda gets that knife out, she can be dangerous.
So we're gonna actually turn these into some very, very thin shoestring style French fries, but it's going to be sweet potato French fries.
Sweet potato fries.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead, and there's one in the pot. We'll get the others finished up. Leave the peeling on, guys. You know, some folks don't want that peeling, and if you just refuse to eat the peeling, so be it. But I'm telling you, lots of good nutrition. The vitamins are concentrated there.
You're throwing your nutrition away sometimes when you peel it.
Absolutely. And a lot of the fiber is going to be found there. So why in the world would you shortchange yourself? So, plus when you bake these in the oven, that peeling adds a little bit of a nice little bite to it. Either if you bake them whole, or if you turn them into fries like we're going to do today.
So this is sweet potato fries.
Correct, correct. And you know, if you go into a really nice little restaurant, they're going to charge you a decent price. But the truth of the matter is, you can buy a sweet potato for almost nothing, and all the money, so to speak, that you're going to invest in it is simply your elbow grease. So why not? Let's make some at home and not pay $5 or $6 for them. Let's make some at home, and we'll wind up investing $1. So here we go. That one's good enough. So this is what we're looking for. About that size, even a little thinner, will be perfectly fine. So we've got a couple of these ready to go. In here, we're going to add a fat pinch of salt. There we go. And just a little bit of oil, whatever suits you, but it needs to be a high smoke point.
It can be canola oil or olive oil or whatever.
Well, yeah, canola's a good choice. I might shy away from olive oil just because we're going to cook these at a very high temperature to get them crispy, and olive oil and high heat don't always go together.
Doesn't go too well.
All right.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now, we've got our salt, we've got our oil, and we're going on to our baking sheet.
And you did not pre-grease that baking sheet.
No, we're going to use the oil that we put on there. Shake it around so that we get everything in a single layer. And the more not the more. The less they touch each other, the crispier they get. So that's about right. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, I have made some ahead of time so that we can have a finished product.
Okay.
And they're in the oven. So through the magic of TV, I'm going to ask you to put those in the oven
I will.
and bring me some that have already been cooked.
All right. Give me a second here. Oh, look at, ooh, okay.
They shouldn't be too hot.
There we
I didn't
go.
want to burn anybody. There we go. Very nice. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put our to be cooked into the oven. And here's what we get when they come out of the oven. So the ones, you can see the tiniest ones, they get nice and brown. And we're going to go ahead and get some of these on our plate, and we'll have that ready to go. Lots of folks say, what in the world, why didn't you just use a white potato? Well, if that's the only one that your family will eat, by all means. But you're getting an extra dose of
Sweet
fiber.
potatoes are very good for you.
Oh, they're incredibly good for you. So an extra dose of vitamin A and beta carotene, an extra dose of fiber. There's lots of good things going on with a sweet potato fry. So we're going to load that up. Let's put that extra crunchy one right there. He's going to taste really good. So I don't know too many families that would look at that and say, there is no way I'm eating that. That's good eating.
Good
and
food.
We've spent less than, well, far less than if we went out to eat. But this is a family-friendly, budget-friendly meal.
So this is slow cooker sloppy joes.
That's right.
And sweet potato fries.
Correct. Now, if the folks want to write in and get this pamphlet, we've got a couple of other recipes in there as well. This time of year, I'm teaching and talking to a lot of folks about preserving, pickling, canning, those type things. And I've put one of the easiest pickle recipes you'll ever find. And every time I make this particular pickle recipe, my family members come running.
Sweet pickles.
Yes, and they want a jar as well. This is, if you have foodies in your family, I'm telling you, that particular recipe, they'll come for it. They want that, they want those pickles. And super easy. You can be in and out.
Refrigerator sweet pickles.
That's right. You don't have to process them. They just live in the refrigerator. So it can't get much easier than that.
And that is in this folder.
It is.
Okay.
The other recipe that we found that I wanted to share with you today, and I'll bring this forward. There's one for just some bites. Now this would, if you want to use it as dessert, that's a great idea. It is flavor packed. You look at that and you say, geez, Rhonda, that's just one little morsel there. I'm telling you, intense nutrition and intense flavor.
And you call these lemon bites?
Lemon bites. And to look at it, you don't see much yellow.
I was going to say, that doesn't look like a lemon.
I know, but wait till you bite into it. It is almonds, quick cooking oats, the zest and juice of one lemon, and then some dried blueberries all together and uncooked. So this comes together in just moments. Kids go gaga for this. It's got that lemony blueberry kind of flavor to it, but don't be deceived by the size of it. Only a few bites is probably what you're going to go for. You don't need a whole plate full of this. A little goes a long way. It's very filling. So I would encourage folks, if you're into energy bars, you may want to think about this. It's actually held together by honey. So everything natural, easy, quick, and if you've ever bought energy bars, or meal replacement bars, you know how high dollar those are. You may appreciate the cost factor that are with these. So,
now, is this something you could that maybe you could get your kids involved in making?
Oh, absolutely.
Let them try their hand at making something.
Absolutely. And I actually use the food processor to make these as well. Just a little bit of whirling to get everything combined. So, yeah, get them in there. Anything that's got a motor attached to it, you can probably get a 10-year-old boy to come help you do that. So put them in there. Now, if you want to up the protein content in that, add a couple of scoops of protein powder or a little bit of evaporated milk, not evaporated, dry milk powder, and you'll hit the mark there. Just really easy, quick, and packed with nutrition.
Well, now all these recipes are in this folder.
Absolutely.
Thanks to Rhonda and Clemson,
Yes.
and we appreciate that. And may I try one?
I would love for you to try one. The berries in it are dried. It's dried blueberries. So if you can't
Now these will
find those,
keep if you.
oh yeah, 2 weeks at least in the refrigerator. But if you can't find that particular type of dried fruit, any comparable dried fruit is perfectly fine.
Okay.
Make it your recipe. Turn it into
All
something
right.
a little different. Yeah.
So if you would like these, and they're perfect for this time of year or any time of year, and there's things here for the whole family. But the sloppy joes and the sweet potato fries and the lemon bites, they're all here, complete with the
those refrigerator pickles.
sweet pickles.
Wow, those are really good.
And so, send us that self-addressed envelope. It really helps us. And we need the number, which is 1009, and we'll have it on its way to you. Thanks to Rhonda and Clemson. I'm going to try this.
Me too. Cheers.
Oh,
Pretty tasty.
that is wonderful.
It is good. It is good. A little bit.
And
It's not light and fluffy.
it
That's why
isn't
I
too
said,
sweet.
That's it. It's not overwhelming, and it is a mouthful of food. You don't need a huge amount of it. So that's just right.
And if you're going to eat, look for things that are good for you. Look
Absolutely.
for good nutrition.
Those whole foods, unprocessed, unadorned, you get better nutrition in the end. So healthy food, healthy body, healthy family, everything's good about
And
it.
these you can make ahead.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
this folder, Tasty Foods for the Family, is yours free for the asking, and we're delighted to share it with you. And Rhonda, you always bring us good information.
Oh, thanks a lot. You're always a
I
treat.
hope you'll come back very
You're my
soon.
treat to come to you. I
Oh, we love
that.
having you here.
Thanks a lot.
And she always brings things that, to me, they're things that you don't have to go out of your way. A lot of the things we have in our kitchen.
Absolutely,
already. Yeah.
absolutely. So I'm a big advocate of use what you got or flex the recipe to turn it into yours.
Okay.
So if folks can't get you here, tell them to call the local extension office through Clemson University. We're in the phone book.
We'll be
Give us a
delighted
ring.
to share these with you at no cost. Write us and send us that envelope stamped, and we'll send it to you. And wherever you are, be sure to think about eating good things this summer. That's very important. Fruits and vegetables. It really pays off. Stay happy. We'll see you next time.